What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today is a very interesting topic. I've been thinking about this. I think a lot of you have been thinking about this, but nobody's really tackled the easy answer, I think, that comes of this question. And that is, we have the Marvel Cinematic Universe falling under the Disney umbrella, and then we have Lucasfilm falling under the Disney umbrella. One of these universes is monumentally successful, to the point where it's probably the single greatest accomplishment we've ever seen in movie history, and that would be the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then we have Lucasfilm with Star Wars, and Lucasfilm is continuing to screw up every single day, it seems like. And it's amazing that they both operate within the Disney banner, but that's where the similarities end. And why is that? Well, I think there's a simple answer to that. So let's look at this Marvel Cinematic Universe. So many movies over the years, so much amazing continuity, the shared universe. They've pulled this thing off. They've managed to take characters that at the time, if you look at when the Marvel Cinematic Universe was created back in 2008 with Iron Man and Cap and Thor, Hulk, they weren't necessarily A-list characters. I mean, it's easy to think they are now, but like Iron Man was not an A-list character. Iron Man was a B-list character. You know, Cap, maybe A-list. I really wouldn't even consider Captain America an A-list character back then. I mean, A-list people are like, A-list characters are like Superman, Batman, you know, Spider-Man, Wolverine, maybe. That's kind of the end of it. You know, Hulk is obviously a well-known character, but Hulk is not Batman or Superman or Spider-Man. So when they started the Marvel Cinematic Universe out, they were starting out with B-rate characters, and they have transitioned those characters into A-list characters. But it's taken a long time, and it's taken a lot of amazing storytelling, a lot of great continuity. They've put the right creative people in place for every project. There's been a lot of communication. The chemistry within the creative department and in the talent department is off the charts. Even bringing in characters like Spider-Man after the fact, who Spider-Man is a major player, but they brought Spider-Man into this universe and it went perfectly. Like, he fits right into it. They've taken characters and stories that were completely unknown to 99% of the audience, which is something like Guardians of the Galaxy, and they have turned Guardians of the Galaxy into nearly an A-list property, at least in terms of the movie verse. It's incredible. And they iconic characters out of people like Star-Lord and Iron Man. They've made Ant-Man relevant. Like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is completely unreal. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the MCU altogether. I've had my problems with it. Before Infinity War, I was starting to get some Marvel fatigue. I didn't like movies like Doctor Strange. I didn't really like Spider-Man Homecoming that much. There were some other movies that just didn't do it for me. I don't hate any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, but some of them were really starting to get boring to me. But Infinity War changed all that. Infinity War was a game changer for me, and it just blew me away. Now, moving forward, I'm not looking forward to Captain Marvel by any means, but I think they've earned the right to at least let's give them the chance, even though we all kind of think that they're going to go full, like, pro-woman, or whammon, I don't know why I said woman, but pro-woman. They're going to go pro-female agenda. They've already done it with some of the marketing, and so, I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to it, but we'll see what happens. But you look at all this, you look at everything that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has created and been successful in every single step of the way. You also can look at Pixar, which operates under the Disney umbrella. We're not going to go too far into Pixar. I know John Lasseter's no longer there. Me Too movement cut him down, whatever. But Pixar has been incredible over the years. They're obviously not as strong as they used to be, but they're still as strong as any other production company within the industry. Pixar is incredible. And so both of those operating under the Disney banner. Then you have Lucasfilm, which Lucasfilm holds Star Wars. Lucasfilm is already starting out way ahead of the game. You are already 10 steps ahead of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You're already 10 steps ahead of Pixar. You have Star Wars. How do you screw this up? It's really simple. Leadership. Incompetent leadership. Kathleen Kennedy is a horrible leader for Lucasfilm, whereas Kevin Feige is an amazing leader at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And like I mentioned, John Lasseter and how he built Pixar. Amazing leadership. It's that simple. Kathleen Kennedy is worried about the social agenda, That's what she's worried about with Star Wars. She does not care about the mythology, the history, or the future of Star Wars. She doesn't care. Whereas Kevin Feige knows everything he needs to know about the creative process, about the history, about the ins and outs of Marvel Comics. Kevin Feige knows his universe, and he is there to complement his universe, to honor his universe, to move it forward, to respect the past and build the future. That's what he's doing. Whereas now Lasseter doesn't really have pre-existing properties, but obviously he built the amazing continuity and chemistry and everything that they did with Pixar. Now Kathleen Kennedy takes over Lucasfilm back in 2012 when Disney purchased it from George Lucas, and she had gold. I mean, she had gold. And The Force Awakens came out, broke every record known to man. It was the biggest thing ever. Star Wars had never been healthier in terms of financial, relevance, cultural relevance, everything. It was firing on all cylinders. And just a few years later, it's now seemingly on life support, it seems like. It's not that bad yet because there's still enough people out there that's going to support it. But if you look at where it was prior to The Force Awakens versus where it is now, 1 year away from the third movie in the sequel trilogy, and how the communication has been so bad at Lucasfilm with this sequel trilogy. How many directors has Kathleen Kennedy gone through publicly? Kevin Feige would never allow a project to get 90% done before he figured, hey, I don't really want these people directing my Solo movie. She let the thing get 90% done before she decided to wake up and do her job and go, I don't really like the creative direction here. We're 90% done. What have you been doing? How can you not know this much earlier in the process? So that allowed the Solo budget to nearly double, put Ron Howard in a horrible predicament to try to save the movie. Now, I didn't see Solo. I'm probably never going to see Solo. But the point is, Solo was a massive failure for Kathleen Kennedy. Hiring Rian Johnson. Now, again, you can hire him. And I was all hyped for The Last Jedi prior to seeing it. And I thought Rian Johnson was going to be a great choice. Clearly, he wasn't. But Kathleen Kennedy handed him a trilogy. She handed him a trilogy. He's the guy that's ruined the universe, and you handed him a trilogy. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Like, what goes through this woman's head? How is that a good decision for her? At what point did she look at Rian Johnson and go, yeah, we need more Luke Skywalker drinking space titty milk. We need more flying Leia. We need more mama jokes. What? How did you come to this conclusion, Kathleen Kennedy? So that's the difference between the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Pixar, and Lucasfilm. It's leadership. It's leadership. It's that simple. Terrible leadership at Lucasfilm, and she has brought people in and surrounded herself with people that are going to repeat her political ideology and her social ideology. That's what she's done. Whereas Kevin Feige is bringing people in that know the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that know the mythology, that know the characters. And when someone like an Edgar Wright comes in and it's bad fit, because Edgar Wright is known to be his own man, and they brought him in for Ant-Man. It didn't work out, and that was fine. Not a big deal. Ant-Man turned out to be great. Was it Peyton Reed, I think, that directed Ant-Man? Turned out to be a great movie. I enjoyed Ant-Man. I was worried when Edgar Wright got, off of the job, but yeah, Peyton Reed came in. Ant-Man was fine. I loved it. Paul Rudd's great. That's what a leader does, and Kathleen Kennedy is a terrible leader, and as long as she is leading Lucasfilm, Star Wars is never going to be Star Wars. Never. That's the hill I'm willing to die on right now. As long as Kathleen Kennedy is the president of Lucasfilm, Star Wars will not be Star Wars. It is a political soapbox for social justice, and that is bullshit, and so is Kathleen Kennedy. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.